Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your March 2016 love reading. It's Rena here, your fellow Sagittarian, reading the cards for you in the first month of spring. And it feels so good to say that. Now, of course, if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, you're going to be having fall. So happy fall to you. I can't even wrap my brain around that, but there you go. So I think that this is a very expansive kind of time for all of us. And I have always had a special place for March in my heart. Because growing up in the Chicago area, we really have the four seasons. And each one is distinct. And there's this feeling that you get in March that is just very much its own thing. And so it really triggers the past for me when those early days of spring, first spring. And so when I look at these cards, I get a similar feeling of movement. And for me, this is a welcome change because I don't know about you guys, but I've felt a bit of a holding pattern. I mean, we started the year with the Mercury retrograde, and that kind of threw me off, because it came right around the time of the new moon, but everything was just off kilter for me. And it seems to be righting itself finally. So I am happy to enter the month of March and to see what this period of time brings for all of us. And the card I picked as the overall energy in March for Sagittarius is the Three of Wands, which is very apropos, very future looking, very expansive, a card of possible travel. In a love reading, this could be something to do with you feeling a sense of wanting to transcend the boundaries that exist for you at this present moment. And maybe there will be some kind of opportunity for you that requires travel. This is very much a business card, a card of enterprise, of some sort of endeavor that you are engaged in. It could be a creative endeavor. The number 3 is linked to creativity. But the wands are connected to fire signs, so it really is about our Sagittarius, whether that's your sun or your rising sign. I don't know if any moon sign Sages watch this, but whatever's going on, there's a feeling of expansion. There's a feeling of potential. And I think this is inherent in Sagittarians, that we always hold within us the feeling of growth, of wanting something more than what we have, and always looking towards the future, not being mired in the past. Now, of course, depending on other signs and planets you have in your chart, this may be modified, and you may have a tendency to get stuck in ruts a little bit more than some other types of Sagittarians. But in general, we're very optimistic and looking towards the horizon, as this card represents. The reason for this expansive view is the Two of Swords. Now, this can be in a relationship. Remember that twos are always connected to partnerships, or they can represent duality. In this context, it could be that some of you are at an impasse with a current partner, and you don't really see at the present time that there is necessarily any kind of agreement or consensus that can be reached. And so you may be feeling like the only solution is to leave physically. And if you have some sort of offer somewhere else, it may seem like the perfect time to get out of Dodge and to kind of put that relationship on a back burner. For other people, it may be kind of like a friendly truce. And maybe you, if you're, let's say you're married and you agree to a trial separation, but you're not definitely going to get divorced. You just want to kind of feel things out on your own and not have to answer to the other person for a while. see how you like being alone, see how much you miss the other person, or if you miss them at all. But there is definitely this kind of a standstill that's occurring. And so the good thing is that whatever is kind of a stalemate or indecision that you're having, you are still looking to the horizon for the answer instead of just wallowing in the impasse. The higher perspective is the Six of Swords. Now, in this reading of 7 cards, I picked 4 Swords cards. Swords relates to the air element in astrology. So this could be a literal person that you are going towards that is more of a peaceful type of a person. I immediately got a Libran, but it made me kind of chuckle because that can be, but not necessarily is the person. But it could be that you are leaving, maybe you were deciding between 2 people and they're both air signs and you're going to go to the other person. Basically, the Six of Swords represents leaving something that is contentious or stormy for something that is much more peaceful. And it could be just physically leaving, moving. It's a moving card. So it could be they've said in astrology for those of us that are sun or even rising sign Sag, that, the 4th house is activated in March because that is Pisces. And that is going to be triggered with the eclipse, and the sun is there. There's also the, Neptune has been there, but Chiron, all these things, it's just loaded up in the 4th house. So there might be a lot of, moving issues or house issues. But yeah, this is a positive card in the upright position where you are making a decision to go towards peace rather than strife. So if this is an air sign person, this card, as the message from the universe suggests, that this is the person that is better off and that you should be doing something like this. It's not necessarily advice so much as just an observation. The advice card is actually the 7 of Swords. So I feel like this is also a card of leaving, okay? But it's leaving in a stealthy manner instead of just coming out and doing it. As I said in a recent video, never let them know that you've broke up with them. So if you're dealing with somebody that's emotional and would get distraught if you were to just say, I'm out of here, then you can ease your way out of it. You have to use your wits to kind of extricate yourself from the relationship. But both of these cards, back to back, suggest that for whoever this reading is most applying to, then you're probably going to have to leave, and you're going to have to do it in a discreet manner instead of just coming out, as a Sagittarian often does, and just kind of saying things bluntly. That's probably not the best policy with this particular person. What is on your side, the energy that is helpful for you during March, is a 9 of Swords, which is hilarious because the 9 of Swords is all about insomnia. So how do you make insomnia work for you? Well, basically what I think this can be interpreted as is to look at whatever is keeping you up at night, or that's, you don't have to take that literally, but look at your anxieties at this moment. And this would be specifically about a relationship that is not working out. And those anxieties, those doubts that you have, can really show you the decision that you need to make. Because if you're still really agonizing over making a decision, the facts are the facts. And so by really paying attention to your fears it often can tell you exactly the answer to your dilemma. And sometimes when we don't want to make decisions, we just kind of sweep away those anxieties, shove them underneath the rug. And this is something where you can't really do that. Now, for the first 6 days of the month, Mars will be still in our 12th house. And this is kind of like connected to this sort of energy of uneasy feelings. Now, that actually may extend itself because depending on what degree sun or rising you have in Sagittarius, that Mars energy will still be in your 12th. So, this may really be indicative of you trying to deal with anxiety and using it to your advantage by using it to reveal to you the truth about the reality of your relationship. And sometimes we don't want to do that, and we have to in order to make the best decision. What crosses you in March is the Death card. And so, to me, what this is saying is that if you're trying to prevent the inevitable from happening, the Death card says that change will be ushered in regardless. And we do have a lunar eclipse at the end of the month. I think it's on the 23rd of March. And that's in Libra. And so for us, Libra is the 11th house. And of course, mileage may vary according to your degree of sun or ascendant. And I really feel that transition is a feature in March. But some people may not see it as a welcome thing because they want to cling to the relationship. And this is particularly true for those people that are on the fence in some matter that you have to decide. And so this would be crossing you if you don't want to deal with the truth of the situation. I personally believe that if you embrace change, which Sagittarius is pretty good at, we're a mutable fire sign. I think we are pretty good at that. But if you can just let go of the need to control the situation, it won't cross you. It will actually help you advance. And that's what the first card, the Three of Wands, is all about, is about expansion and advancement in all your endeavors. The outcome is a Four of Wands. So this is the happy home archetype in the minor arcana, and it can also point to some sort of success. Again, it can relate to your career, but it does relate to family happiness. So perhaps some of you will work out a marriage that was on the rocks and restore it to its former glory. For some of you, maybe you're going to be moving into a new house, and that's where your journey takes you. The Six of Swords, you're moving towards something that is peaceful. And this is definitely a sign of happier times and domestic bliss. And in a love reading, I think that is really nice. I think it also relates to marriage itself. So if there was some kind of a dilemma, maybe you were deciding whether or not to get married and or move in, whatever, make a commitment, this would definitely portend doing so and having joy in this domestic arrangement. So Sagittarius, I hope you found some resonance with all or most of the cards, or at least one. And if you'd like a personalized reading, please click on the link below. I have a special for my longer love reading. So you take care of yourself. Bye.